So in one of my previous Metroid Prime videos, I was discussing Metroid Prime 4 Beyond's potential sales in comparison to what's been going on with the series in general. Metroid Prime Remastered came out and didn't light the world on fire. And there was a lot of good comments in that video. Shout out to all of y'all who was dropping comments, giving y'all different theories on why y'all believed, the series would constantly perform the way it does perform, and whether or not you felt like it needed something in order to grow the series outside of the medium of video games. Like I was discussing in that video, a lot of y'all had great ideas. A lot of y'all agreed, like, yeah, maybe Metroid does need something outside of gaming in order to bring people in to the actual games, right? A lot of you also felt, yeah, Metroid is one of those games that it just does cause a lot of thinking, backtracking, and things like that, and that just turns off a lot of casual players. Y'all talked about, Nintendo games skewing lower demographically, age-wise, than what Metroid basically is asking for from the Nintendo customer. I could see all those points. I could respect a lot of those points. And I can agree, yes, like Mario, Pokemon, Kirby, Splatoon, Animal Crossing, Zelda, like a lot of these games, even the dormant ones like Star Fox, you bring them up and they all have, a lot of them have an anime looking style to them, look like they would just fit perfectly as an anime. Whereas Metroid, to a lot of players, not to me, because I know Metroid, everything about it is Japanese. It's how it was made, who it was made by. So it is what it is, even though a lot of the audience who looks at the series look at it and they say, oh, it feels more North American. Then you throw in Retro Studios, which is a North American based studio, who made this incredible trilogy and at a certain time made the number one played game in the whole series, which was Prime 1. Yeah, it can feel a lot different from the rest of Nintendo catalog. Some folks even in the comment section of that previous video was like, yeah, I think they need to put Metroid on Steam so that older demographic can experience that game. And I just felt like, I know for a fact that there's a lot of 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds playing Kirby's and Mario's and Zelda's and all that. Now I know that there's a lot of players who are playing, who are super young. So I just feel like while that is a giant dynamic to it, I feel a hurdle for Metroid and the whole scheme of the Nintendo world, it's like the one that stands out, I guess, like a sore thumb, and red-headed helmet stepchild, basically that whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand all that, but I still don't buy that there's not enough people to make the game sell way better. You understand what I'm saying? Like Tears of the Kingdom isn't some small task. You're like, oh, you're asking the player, like, yeah, it's colorful, it's beautiful. So like that game has difficulty, has a lot of, thinking involved, has a lot of the things that Metroid has. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really buy into the idea that there isn't this giant user base who should be playing Metroid on Nintendo because they all skew younger, right? And again, watching, and reading your comments, it just got me thinking, like, I'm not mentioning one giant problem that plagues this series. And it's probably because, well, the problem is listening to it right now. The problem is talking about it right now. And that's us. I'm going to say it's us. It's you, it's me. Right? Now, I don't fall into the camp. I'm not going to be like, yeah, not me, but I'm a Metroid fan, you're a Metroid fan. I'm going to just say us for right now, right? It's all of us. There's a lot of us, all right? There's a lot of us who put Metroid on a giant pedestal. But just to be clear, not Metroid 1, not Samus Return to Samus, no. Super Metroid. And the buck stops there. Everything else can't compare to it. Nothing that came after is better. Super Metroid, Super Metroid, Super Metroid. So then they, the Super Metroid fan, don't actually like other Metroid games. Let's just keep it real, right? Because you like Super Metroid, but clearly you don't like the rest of the series. Because every time you talk about the series, you got to talk about Super Metroid. Oh my God, it's like those other fans who always wanted to bring up Ocarina of Time for years and years. I'm glad we got past that. Ocarina of Time, Ocarina of Time, Ocarina of Time. I get it, loved it. I was there. I understand. Bought it multiple times. Understand it got re-released the most because of, I'm going to just say, not y'all, us. who always want to be like Ocarina, 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 Ocarina. Then y'all sitting there wondering why y'all ain't getting, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker now. It'll come. They brought Skyward Sword. It's weird. I'm not gonna act like that's the same thing. But no. Look. There's a lot of people who bigged up Super Metroid only. Then Metroid Prime happened. And that was fine. But then 2 came out, Dark World. And then 3 came out, oh my god, it wants to be Halo. Look at all the cinematics. And then obviously everything that came after. And then other M, I'm not even going to bring that up. I'm just going to go into Dread. Dread comes out, praised by everybody, right? That's why I'm not going to focus on other M, right? Because a lot of people, issues with it. Dread comes out. Let's just fast forward. And a lot of people are like, this was an incredible experience. I was like, yo, it felt like if they took Metroid Prime and 2D Metroid and was like, yeah, here, this is that. And it felt like that. I loved it, and then you get the Metroid, or should I say the Super Metroid purists, who come and go, no, let's get a Super Metroid. I hate the enemy sections, two hand holding, and blah, 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 right? The same, and I'm not discrediting their opinions on the hand holding and all that stuff. Like, yeah, you can agree like certain things are too easy, or they can maybe, free things up and, make things more open. I understand all that. Still, I love the game. I thought the game was a masterpiece, one of the best games that we gotten in the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And still, there'll be a group of Super Metroid fans who'll be like, yeah, Hollow Knight was better. In my world, Hollow Knight isn't even in the same realm as Metroid Dread. You know what I'm saying? And I get it if you like Hollow Knight more than Super Metroid. Say that. But don't try to bring Dread into this. Like, oh, it's better than that, but it ain't better than this. Nah, if it's better than Dread, it's probably better than Super, right? No, I'm just saying. But no, my whole point I'm getting to is the other games happen, so then you get 2 kinds of Metroid fans. You got the ones who love the series and want to see the series grow, right? Well, no, there's like 3 kinds. Let's discuss all of them while we're here. You got the ones who are just diehard Super Metroid fans, diehard Metroid Prime fans. Nothing else compares. Nothing else ever will for them. That's it. Nostalgia got them. They're trapped in this time loop. You know what I'm saying? And that's the best. And there is nothing they could do. Hell, they'll remake Super Metroid completely in Dread's engine. They'll complain, oh, nah, but I like the sprite work better on Super Nintendo. There is literally nothing you can do. So those people, while they matter because they'll buy the new Metroid games just to hate on them, are they really fans, though, of the series? I'm just wondering that. Or you could say, oh, no, I am a fan. Just nothing ever is going to reach the highs of Super, but I still love these other games. Then it's like, okay, see, that's a different kind of situation. Because you got some who is like, it's clearly you have no love in your heart for this IP. You just wanted to be this. And then you just want to come into every party of people celebrating the latest entries and things that they like in the new games just to be like, oh, yeah, but nah, they did it better back in the day. Like, gotcha. Just stay there. Just go read old forums when, that game came out or something like that and just enjoy yourself. Because some people actually want to see the series grow, do more. Like, I love Prime 3. I know I stated that multiple times. I love Prime 3. Everything that they added, making the Federation matter more, but that's not exclusive to Prime 3. Prime 2 did that. They made the Federation cool. Super cool. And y'all may not know this, but for years I was the one saying, man, they should make a game that focuses on the Federation. And it just be an adventure about the Federation, like a 4-player co-op thing. Then they did that. On the wrong hardware, I feel. Because if they would have did that with Prime's engine, I think that would have been a hit on Wii U. But they did it on 3DS and they made them chibi. It was a whole thing. But the idea, I really did want that idea. I would still love ideas like that. And y'all know I always talk about multiplayer in Metroid. There's a lot to discuss. And I got some videos coming where I'm gonna ask some questions, man. Some real crazy questions. And I don't want all these videos to seem like, oh, it's like on a downer. It's not even that. It's just the reality of what Metroid is. Metroid is way better than all the success it's seen. Put it like that. It's way better than that. And it deserves way more. And it's not like something where you're just like, oh, you're just a fanboy of that game. It's like, nah, it's not even about being a fanboy of that game. It's that literally almost every game that you love since this game came out done pulled from this game. Not from any other games, Metroid. Full genres, Games like Hollow Knight, Guacamelee, you know what I'm saying? Axiom Verge, you name it. There's a ton of them. Castlevania. Like a lot of these games are just inspired by Metroid. And a lot of these games will go on and do better than Metroid. You got Castlevania Netflix shows, 3D Castlevanias, 2D Castlevanias, really bad 3D Castlevanias, you know? Some fighting games. Like there was so much. Remember that Castlevania fighting game on the, what was it, the Wii? Crazy. There was a lot of, there was just a lot done with that IP. You got Castlevania now and Vampire Survivor, and that's a huge thing. Like it just went and did just more than what Metroid ever did. So it's not like I want to be like in like some downer. No, I want the. I'm asking these questions because I want the series to grow, and I want it to do better. And the truth is, there's a lot of people in the actual fandom, and this happens to a lot of fandoms. And what I love about Nintendo is that Nintendo never cared about what you wanted or what I wanted. You think I didn't want a Mario Galaxy 3 more than everything? Complete the trilogy. I did. But then I got games after that it's like, I don't even think about winning the Mario Galaxy 3 because it just seems so basic. I don't think of Odyssey 2. I don't even want that. I don't even expect that. I expect Mario and Donkey Kong Adventure running around. That's what I would love, or just a Donkey Kong game by the Mario team. Whatever. Look, the point is I expect something completely new. And I'll just be open for it and not be like, oh yeah, you know, Odyssey or Galaxy or Mario 64. In the Mario world, that Mario 64, it kind of did it for a little while when Sunshine came out. Oh, Mario, and they tried to give it that Metroid Prime treatment, that Super Metroid treatment, right? I say they, but us, the Nintendo fans. But the truth is, Galaxy came out, and a lot of people was like, yeah, you can stop all that talk. Mario 64 the best. Get out of here. Like, Galaxy is insane. Like, fine. And there's people who love both. There's people who feel like, nah, this one is better than other. That's fine. But there's a lot of, the majority will all agree, like, yeah, nobody's going to sit there and argue with you for saying you like Odyssey or Galaxy better. They're all like, yeah, they're all great. Bowser's Fury your favorite? Makes sense. They're all great. So and then with Zelda, the Ocarina of Time, that got washed away too because there's people who straight up love Twilight Princess the most. And I get it. I love Twilight Princess too. Especially the last time I played it on Wii U, I was like, man, this game, I really do enjoy this game still. There's things in there, obviously, like the opening that could be, you know, streamlined and stuff. But overall, great game. Tone, everything amazing. Wind Waker, I've always talked about how much Wind Waker, one of the best looking games of all time still to this day. And just incredible. Just incredible. So alive that game felt. Even though it's just a lot of endless ocean. Not the game. Endless ocean. Yeah, in the actual, you know, Wind Waker. But then you have Skyward Sword, and then you got the open air Zelda games. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. But then you got the 2D games. And so Zelda fans are accustomed to all these different style of games now. And then so many different bangers came out that everybody just agrees Ocarina of Time is the best. It's not a thing no more in the Zelda world no more. You got people who are like, nah, Tears of the Kingdom the best. Dragon in the Sky, dog. Like, that was crazy. Or Breath of the Wild. Oh my God, the first time I played that, I get it. I understand. And now we all got our own, and it spreads out. Metroid, it still feels like, nah, it's Super, and it's Prime. And that's why we got Prime remade and not 2 and 3. Even though my hope was Prime was remade because, here, guys, here's your Prime. Don't expect Metroid Prime 4 to be that because we're going to keep pushing like we've been pushing with each entry after. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for that as a fan of the series because that's what I want. I want a sequel to Prime 3. Something new, something better, something crazier. I don't need, go small, make it intimate. Just give me Prime 1 again. Nah. Go play that. We just remastered that. It's beautiful. But that's the reason why we only got that one and not 2 and 3. Because for years, people act like 2 and 3 were lesser. Now, I always play these games every other year. Every other year. You can literally go through the content and you'll see different times. I'm playing Prime 3. I'm playing Prime 2, Prime 1. You know, even before the remaster came out. And it's like, because I play them all the time. So as a person who plays them all the time and can see just how, at this point, basic and damn near shallow Prime 1 feels compared to 2 and 3. And I get it. That's the reason why people like it. Oh, yeah, it's easy old nostalgia, and that's the one that they always want to go back to and play. Right? And people didn't like 3 automatically because of motion controls. So that one automatically had a bad rep because it had Wii remote nunchuck controls, which I loved. But people were automatically, if it had those controls, it was garbage. It was a Wii game, it was garbage. Galaxy, garbage. It didn't matter. Red Steel 2, which played like a dream, garbage. It didn't matter. So that's just what the time people were on at the time. So Prime 1 stood with that relevant title of being the best, the best, the best. And now they remade it. And I wonder if people still feel like that right now after playing it again. Probably many do. But I wonder if they remade all three, if people would have felt like that right now. You know? It's always the first one you play. So then if you go in order, you're always going to, if you start feeling burnout, right? Because you just get tired of all the maze goodness that is Metroid. Yeah, by the time you're done with the third, you probably feel like, yeah, that was a chore, And it's like, yeah, you're playing a trilogy, basically. But if you play them by themselves in order and you just take them for what they are each, I just don't see how you will ever end with, yeah, Prime 1 is the actual best. It's like, it doesn't have the best boss fights, doesn't have the best story, doesn't have, like, the best encounters, areas, puzzle design. It just falls flat in all those areas. So and this is not a bash Metroid Prime 1 thing. No, I love Metroid Prime 1. I love the whole damn series. I love it. I'm just saying, people put it on this crazy pedestal. So keeping it on that pedestal and then talking down the rest of the series, that doesn't help the IP, right? Can't possibly help the IP. And people do that all the time. Like I was just saying, Mario got freed of that. Zelda got freed of that. Sadly, stuff like Star Fox couldn't get free of it because, well, Miyamoto just kept wanting to tell the same boring Star Fox 64 story over and over. Now, shout out to Command. On the DS, they actually pushed story narratives forward, multiple endings. It was awesome. People hated on it, though, but it was awesome. And yeah, Star Fox 64, you're going to just keep telling that story over and over, and then you wonder, damn, why is the game not doing it? Because we already know. We're in there, okay, we got it. McCloud, and then, okay, now Fox and McCloud, yeah. Pepe, yeah, okay, yeah, we got you. And then Pigma betrayed, and Andros. Again? Could we do new things, like new stories? But again, I think that I think when the IP has that one game that people want to just keep, oh yeah, it's the best, it's the best, it's the best. It ends up hurting the IP, and and this is the worst. This is literally the worst. When people want the IP to stay as this one thing, and how dare it go with a more open world design. The game's already, you're going to this area, now you got to open it up. It's unlocking the area. So yeah, we're going to make big areas like that. Giant areas. So it's like an open world Metroid, but it's still Metroid. It's the same crap. Just bigger, more of awesomeness, right? People just hear the world open. They go, oh my God, and start going crazy. It's the world, another open world game. And start talking about, Ubisoft, they're like, what are you talking about? But anyway, that's what they would do to that. If they go, oh yeah, we're going to add a co-op element. Wait, Samus not going to be by herself? Nah! They'll get mad at that. If they say, okay, yeah, we're going to, anything that they decide to do, they'll be like, yeah, nah, like, why are you rocking the boat? Why are you changing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? New? Oh my God, new. It's like new basically scares a lot of players. So they got to stay the same old thing. Hell, you tell people, yeah, they should do other things, like animes or a movie or whatever. And you'll get comments. Literally, there's comments on previous videos where it's just, oh yeah, nah, Metroid works best as a video game. Metroid works best as a video game. It doesn't even perform that great as a video game. But you'll say that with your whole chest, with the most confidence in the world. And it's so weird. It's like, where does this confidence come from? Because we have the stats. And the stats is showing, no, that's not true. And again, Metroid is legitimately, I played mad games out there, better than most video games I've played. Design-wise and everything, yeah, they're just incredible. And I get, not every game is going to be for everybody, yeah, but then y'all play games that take pieces from this game and then act like that game that you playing is some big, giant, innovative, great thing. And it's like, yeah, it's just Metroid Light. It's just Metroid Light. That's all it is. And who knows? Maybe that's what Metroid needs to be. People might not want to hear it, but maybe. In order to bring in new players. And then people always, also hit you with once you say bring in new players, they'll go, oh, nah, if Metroid needs to change, and I'd rather it not even exist. And it's like, damn, that's crazy. Because Mario Wonder is different from Mario, just name any of the other ones. It has the same elements, but it's different. Same thing with Echoes of Wisdom. Same thing with Tears of the Kingdom. Same thing with Mario Odyssey. Same thing with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. There's elements of the IP that you love there, but they all get to change. And then Kirby won with its change bigger than ever before. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why Metroid can't try. They do the same thing to Halo. Like Halo, oh my god, the multiplayer changes anything. Oh, you're gonna change it from red versus blue? Ah, it's like, yeah, that red versus blue thing, I swear, that's one of the key things that turn people off from playing Metroid. I think if it was Spartans versus alien races, like that would be way more interesting. Different characters, just different variety there than just having Spartan, yay. Like, and it's like players here, this is blasphemy. It's like, nah, that's the truth. Oh, you don't know that. Well, your way has been going in a downhill trajectory. Don't you think maybe it's time you swerve? If you're doing just a little bit, try something different. But no, I'd rather it not exist. Like that's wild. That's wild because for me, I want more Metroid games. And Nintendo proved already that you can keep the essence of a game and keep it great, whatever. And so, listen, there'll be somebody listening to this and be like, yeah, no, Open Air Zelda doesn't have any of the essence of the old Zelda games. I hate it. Cool. You won of the 3 million Skyward Sword plays because that was the last real one. So that was the top. That was the ceiling of Zelda at the end of your favorite kind of Zelda games. Cool. We living in a world of 30 million, 20 million. At this point, you don't matter. At this point, if they made a Metroid game, this could hurt feelings, but I'm not saying this to be an asshole. It's like, it's the truth. If they made a Metroid game right now, and it did a matter of fact, I'm gonna use a different example. I'm gonna really hurt feelings with this one. I'm gonna hurt my own feelings with this because I didn't like Other M. But let's say Other M went on and pew blew out everything in the series. So 20 million. Now I want Metroid Prime and you want Super Style Metroid. So you want a Dread and I want a Prime 4, but we're not getting that. We're getting Other M entries. Now, each entry gets better. They fix things that maybe we didn't like. So now we get more on board with it. Oh yeah, I could feel my Metroid in hand, whatever. And that would have been, guess what? It would have been fine. Because you would have been getting more Metroids. And it could have even led to, okay, yeah, we're gonna do a Dread on the side. The same way Echoes of Wisdom happens. The same way Mario Wonder happens. Just because we got these banger 30 million, 40 million seller 3D games doesn't mean we won't come back to the tried and true. Because those put up numbers too. So then it's like, yeah, if this is doing that now, these other M-style Metroid games are selling 20 million. They go, all right, now let's see what in this world where people love Metroid way more than before. Me and you don't even matter to those sales. They say, okay, yeah, we lost the 2 million. We'll give the Dread number. Over 3 million, almost 4 million. All right, we'll give the 4 million up because we got 20 million fans now. They don't matter. We'll be mad, screaming at clouds, but there you go. The series is doing great. And hopefully there'll be a moment where we're like, okay, we could jump back on the ship. But I'm not going to hate it the whole way there because it's bringing more stuff to me. Like, period. It keeps the IP going and going and going. But that's something that could happen. They can make a change. And I just use Other M as an example because that was a big change for the series. And they could have went and did great. And that could lead to, oh yeah, we got enough funds now to, yeah, let's make a Metroid Prime thing on the side for the ones who keep crying about it. Let's make a Metroid 2D numbered entry. Let's do that. While we still going with our mainline, Other M-style Metroid games. That could be a world we live in too. There's a lot of different things that you can do in order to make a Metroid game successful and then still give core Metroid fans what they want. And sometimes that main thing that might be the big success might be something that might make you feel like those Ocarina of Time fans who are like, I want this. Or Link to the Past fan, I want this. I don't like Open Air Zelda. It's just a chore running around and da-da-da. It's like they're not wrong, but I think they are wrong when they just straight up want to be on social media hating and talking down the latest big popular entry to try to big up their old thing when it's like, just wait your turn. Eventually, boom, look, up to these other Echoes of Wisdom right here. There's nothing to say that eventually they won't do another regular 3D style, Wind Waker or Ocarina of Time to Skyward Sword style Zelda. Like, there's nothing to say that they won't do another one of those eventually or get another team to make that. Why not? They clearly know in one generation we can sell multiple millions of Zelda games and people aren't tired. They'll go play Breath of the Wild. They'll play Age of Calamity. They'll play, Tears of the Kingdom. Echoes of Wisdom, Cadence of Hyrule. Like they just did a lot of stuff, and I feel like that all happened because that shift that they did, that change that they did, in order to get new players into the IP, it worked. So when Nintendo has done that already with multiple IPs, Odyssey, the highest selling 3D entry. You understand? Odyssey was that shift for the series. How many people you hear, oh yeah, I don't like Odyssey like that, or Odyssey wasn't as good, oh it was too many moons. Odyssey became my favorite entry after the third time I played it. And I went back and played Galaxy 1, played some 64, and I was like, yeah, there's just Odyssey, man. Cappy, the way you move in that game, everything, the instant gameplay that came from the Switch being what it is, a hybrid on the go. You can grab a moon, put your console away. It just made for a cool ass experience to me. I love it. I thought it was the best thing ever. Then Bowser's Fury happened, and it was just 3D world with Odyssey elements all over it. And it's just like, yeah, awesome. Loved it. This is the way I want my Mario to be. But it'll probably change, and it'll probably be awesome. So I want Metroid to be a certain way, but I'm open to MEs. I'm open to different mechanics. Oh yeah, it's not exactly Super Metroid. Yeah, Samus actually runs around like Samus, can aim freely and do all this cool stuff. I love it. Yes, awesome. And now Prime 4 is going to come out. I want new things, new ideas. Some people might not love them. But if it grows the IP, like Dread worked, it grew the IP a bit, right? It worked. It's just scary that Prime Remaster came out after, and then it was like nobody showed up for it. And I get a lot of people say, oh yeah, they didn't advertise that with ads like they did Metroid Dread. And I will say that. Nintendo did advertise the hell out of Metroid Dread. So there's not a one-to-one comparison between the way how Metroid Prime sold and how, Prime 4 is going to do. Because there's people, again, who played Prime entries multiple times. It was like, I'm not going to buy Prime again. Even at $40. I just don't care to play it again. I'll play the new game. You're going to have those fans who do that. And then if you didn't advertise to the people who bought Dread, maybe they didn't know that there was a new Metroid game. Maybe they're not combing through the eShop and seeing that. You got to advertise. And they did not advertise that game. They just stuff released it, dropped it, mad cheap, and was that, let it do what it do. Which, I mean, it still did 1.3 million. Basically, is the number we got. And that's the number that includes eShop. I know people say, oh, that probably doesn't include eShop. No, that comes directly from Nintendo. When it comes from Nintendo, they include everything. That's how you get the full number. So, yeah, it did about 1.3, which is not god awful. I mean, that's basically Metroid Prime 3 sales. You know what I'm saying? On the Wii. So, it's not, oh my God, when you consider what it is, no advertising, no anything. But still, I wish it did better than that, because I would have just more confidence in people showing up for Prime 4. But again, Nintendo just got to really do a good media blitz for the thing. I think having things like amiibos and things like that really helped Dread too, right? There was more amiibo. There's people who buy games just based off, I want the amiibo. Oh, if the amiibo got a game, then I get the amiibo and the game. You never know. You got weird collectors out there who just collect things in different ways. Who am I to judge how they collect stuff? Shout out to them. So, hey, like I said, there's people who do that, who go, yeah, amiibos, I'm getting the game. So having an amiibo of Silex and Samus, I'll take an amiibo of just Silex walking through with the Space Pirates. Like a damn statue, basically. That would be great. Hell, put Samus in the front, rolling right there with the poles. Now you're like, yo, how much that gonna cost? I mean, a lot. Probably. You're like, you asking for first four figures now. That's not even amiibo. I said what I said. Nah, but yeah, man. Like we got to take some accountability, man. There's some fans. Is the point that I'm trying to make in this long ass video. There's some fans who just genuinely don't want to see the series grow, don't want to give a chance to anything, are stuck in loving the ones that they love in the series more than anything else. And Metroid is still plagued by that with the Prime and the Super love. It's a dark shadow over the IP. It needs to shed that, And I hope that people won't go into Prime 4 immediately and say, oh, it's too much this, it's too much that, it's talking here. Oh, look at the pirates. Look what that trailer was. That trailer was Metroid Prime 3. Let's keep it real. Federation pushing artifacts. Oh my God, we got to get out of here. Space pirates breaking in. That's Metroid to me. I'll never understand people because they saw Super Metroid start with the space pirates already running through and doing everything. It was old hardware, so they couldn't really create these fights like that. I mean, you could have turned it into Contra, basically, but they weren't going to do that. They went for a certain tone, right? And it's like, people are like, yeah, it should just be that tone. It's like, you still get that tone all throughout, especially Prime 3. That was very chatty. There's times where you're just going long stretches, hours, and you're just doing your thing. And it's beautiful Metroid goodness. But then there's these moments that add to the world. And that's the thing. I feel like the world feels so vast. You know what I'm saying? In a Prime 3 situation, Prime 2, it just felt more grand to know that there was other people out there. Like, yo, like you watch, logs of Federation land and be like, yeah, this area, what's going on over here with this planet? And then just get attacked by this alien race that then will come to attack you and take all your abilities away. And then you will come to find those guys as zombies, and now you gotta be attacking them because they're attacking you. And it's like, how is this not the greatest thing that ever happened? And just ever. Like, this is insane. And people was like, nah, I like the intimacy of Metroid Prime. And I'm just like, damn. So it's like that. And then Prime 3 happened. And that intro, and people just kept bringing up Halo, 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 Halo. And I'm like, it's a sci-fi game. And this game implied all these things, all these parts existed before Halo even was a goddamn thought. And yet somehow it's getting shaded for just growing and becoming, because it's a series that don't even got that many entries. So it's now coming into form. It's only on its third 3D game. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, oh my God, like okay, let's go. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Oh yeah, Wind Waker. Damn. Wind Waker got a lot of shit too. Maybe the third 3D games, like Mario 64, Sunshine. Nah, Galaxy was great. Galaxy got all the love. They broke them all with that one. I don't think there's a pattern, man. It's just Metroid is not allowed. Samus is not allowed. God forbid. Like, look, my next video, I'm going to ask the question. What if Metroid Prime 4 Beyond actually does fail? What's next for the series, if there is a next? And I think we know there is a next, even if it does fail. There will be a Mercury Steam Sakamoto Metroid game coming out, which can again do 4, 5, 6 million, and we could just be living in the era of just good 2D, 2.5D Metroid games, and I'll be happy because I'm still getting Metroid games. At the end of the day, I love this IP in any form that it takes. That is, the ones that keep the elements of the IP alive. So not Metroid Pinball, Federation Force, Metroid Hunters, which is incredible Hunters. I'm just saying the actual essence of the game, the mazes and everything, upgrade and everything. That's what the 2D games bring, the 3D Prime games bring. If I'm stuck with only one of them, cool. And I won't even look at it as being stuck. If we went in with just the 2D entries, cool. But stay tuned for that video where I'm going to question what should they do after. And it probably won't be a super long video like this one, but yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.